bottling. We make bottles.
For mineral water and beer. Rappaport's ginger beer out of Camden. They're our best customer. 1,000 units a month we ship. I don't know why I'm telling you this.
Please.
That business, I made it. 60 men work for me. I can manage 60 men. But this, I can't manage it. Can't even talk about it.
Take your time.
At the factory, if there's a problem with the machinery, I know exactly what to do. Last week, we sent glass through the gob feeder at the wrong temperature, and I knew in a minute. I knew. But this, her, I don't know what to do anymore. And to look at her and know that I can't do anything.
I know how you feel. I'm a father myself.
Are you?
Yes, 2 boys. What we wouldn't do for our children.
Oh, God. Talking on and on like this. I'm sorry, wasting your time.
No, not at all.
I need to decide. This should be easy. I make 100 decisions a day, and clearly things can't go on anymore. But I can't, and I don't know why.
Yes, well, it is your decision. I won't take that from you. Please, tell me how I can help.
If I'm honest, I know the issue, I can't say it out loud.
Men have sat in that chair and told me any number of things. Please.
Shame. Oh, God, it's shame. 60 men. I manage 60 men. Doesn't that prove... I'm sorry, I've wasted your time.
You're leaving?
Yes, I'm truly sorry.
Then go, but what will you do the next time that she jumps from the roof, thinking that she can fly with the angels? You've described a rapidly deteriorating situation that nearly proved fatal. You say you can't handle this, and you can't. And in my professional experience, your daughter's condition will not improve on its own. As I said, it's your decision. I won't take that from you. But please, decide what's in her best interest, and not what will help you to survive shame.
Oh, God. You're right, but I'll say it. If I do this, then I have to admit, it's not eccentricity or nerves. I have to name it for what it is.
Madness.
Yes. And that means she got it from me. If she's mad, so am I. There must be something in me waiting to come out. But I built a business. I managed 60 men. Doesn't that... Oh, God, so shameful.
Now I see how I can help. Look at this, please.
But it's a calendar.
Yes, it's a calendar. Read the year.
1925.
1925. Not 1900, not 1815, or any time before that. We're living in the modern era, Mr. Darger. And what you're afraid of, well, we don't think that way anymore.
No.
Madness is a taint of the family bloodline. Good for an Edgar Allan Poe story, but not for the age of science.
But people always say...
Your daughter's illness is her own, not yours.
But people always say...
This is common folk beliefs. All that went out with the way of bloodletting and leeches. We don't think that way anymore. A new dawn, Mr. Darger.
But if it's not from me, then how do you explain it?
You said something interesting before. If there were a problem with the machinery, you'd know exactly what to do. Well, think of it that way. With her, there's a problem with the machinery.
And you know what to do.
Let me show you something. These are a product of the past. Madness is a biological taint on the family. But that's a grim diagnosis. And if that's true, then there is no cure. And if there is no cure, then what's to be done with the insane? Hi, only this. Lock them up. Let them eat and sleep and beat them when they are bad. I had 700 of these removed when I first came to this hospital. 700. And thank God that's all in the past. We don't think that way anymore. I keep these here to remind me of the old ways. You've seen our wards. No restraints. Our patients are free to walk about as they will. Occupational therapy keeps them active. But most importantly, they get better. But why? Why do we succeed where our predecessors have failed? Because of science, Mr. Darger. A bright light, illuminating the darkness. Science gives us new truths, which we respect and we enact. And that has brought us hope. Madness does not make you subhuman. It only makes you sick. And we can make you well. And the rest of the world is beginning to see what we do here.
Most remarkably of all, Trenton Psychiatric Hospital boasts a recovery rate of 85%. Institutions across the country would do well to follow the path blazed by Dr. Cotton. This is in review of reviews. Everyone reads this.
So I've been told.
85%. You do know what to do here. Give me the paperwork. I'll sign.
Among us deserve relief. Only you can give it. What's the context?
She's asking the Illinois State Legislature for funding for a hospital. Flip to the end.
Dorothea Dix. Her signature.
Yes, it's like touching history, isn't it?
Oh, yes. A saint once walked the earth. Thank you for showing me.
Of course. We have a few more in our little museum if you're interested.
I am. She's always been a hero of mine. The greatest reformer mental health has ever known. And she was a woman.
Yes, I thought you might like it for that reason.
The way she fought. A personal inspiration.
Yes, it can't be easy making your way amongst us men.
There are challenges.
Meyer, for one.
Dr. Meyer is a challenge, but not because I'm a woman.
Little tyrant. How is he? Does he still have the stare?
He sends his regards, by the way.
Yes, I do miss him. And everything about Hopkins, really.
Speaking of Dr. Meyer, perhaps we could discuss
Is
my
Weisberg
visit.
still there?
Dr. Weisberg? No.
Pity. He missed learning with the best. My personal inspiration. Whenever my research stalled, he was always there to help.
Dr. Meyer told me about your work there. Outstanding.
How collegial. You know about my work, and I know about yours.
What's that?
Syphilis and its effect on the central nervous system.
My paper?
Yes, I asked Meyer for a copy. Had to know a little something about who was going to be snooping about here.
Snooping?
Oh, no, not snooping. That's unfair. About your paper. Brilliant work, really. Although I might take issue with some of your conclusions.
Don't judge me yet. It's not finished. I'll revise it.
Of course, but it is brilliant work, and I should know. I began my career with syphilis. That wasn't phrased quite well enough. Yeah.
I understand.
Yes, Weisberg would have been the perfect mentor for this.
Yes, my visit, Doctor. Perhaps we
Yes,
could...
your non-snooping visit. Yes, we are terribly happy to have you here. And that's why I bring this up. Reading it buoyed my spirits, convinced me that you were the perfect person to come here.
Why is that?
Why, syphilis. You understand the implications.
Yes, Dr. Meyer, he'd like me to collect the following data
I
sets
assume you understand.
from your statistician.
Perhaps you don't.
I understand your theories. I do.
My sympathetic mind. I knew it when I read this.
And I hope to find support for them.
I see. Well, Mrs. Rue, our statistician, is in the southern wing.
Thank you. Analyzing this will take some time, but I promise.
Yes, end of the hall.
I want you to know, I don't consider this an investigation.
No, not an investigation. If
Well-
you'll excuse me.
Well, the southern wing.
Yes. Pasteur.
I'm sorry? You said pasteur.
I did.
Was that meant for me?
No, for me.
Dr. Meyer, I'm not sure what you were expecting when I came here.
Dr. Dorothea Dix, someone like that.
What?
A revolutionary, a pioneer, someone open to new ideas, but I'm keeping you.
Doctor, I did say I hope to find support.
You hope.
I do hope.
Well, I have hopes as well. Living long enough to be vindicated, that's one. Southern wing, end of the hall.
I'm not here to investigate you.
No, and the committee isn't investigating either.
But I'm not here to be a rubber stamp.
It doesn't matter. Pasteur stood alone. So can I.
Pasteur, I don't understand this conversation.
Pasteur, the greatest biologist the world has ever known, discovers germ theory in 1859. 1859. But it's 20 years before his theories are accepted.
I see.
Yes, and Joseph Lister, he stood alone, adopts Pasteur's findings, and suggests that surgeons do outrageous things like wash their hands and clean their instruments before they operate. But ridiculous. No, why should we do that? Well, we all know that illness is caused by vapors and bad air, not by these invisible germs that can only be seen through a microscope.
I think you've made your point,
And
Doctor.
countless lives are lost while people continue to live in the past. But that's the way of the world. My God. Robert Koch discovers that a bacterium causes anthrax in 1876.
No more history,
And
please.
Noguchi and Moore discovered that syphilis causes paresis in 1913, and you cite it here in your paper.
I know.
And paresis is what? Mental illness. Time and time again, we are finding that illness is based in biology, and you do not think that has any implications on our field.
I know the implications. I do, but...
But.
I know how much we don't know.
No! We know what we know.
I don't know what we know.
Fine, then let us watch while the most wretched amongst us wither and die, while you and the rest of the world make up your minds.
I'm not here to oppose you.
It doesn't matter. But forgive me. Forgive me if I feel differently. Forgive me if I slaughter myself every day, helping the nervous and the disturbed. And the exhaustion makes me feel like your visit is unjust. Just forgive me if I put up with sniping from Greystone Park every day, simply because Review of Reviews praises me and makes them feel like they are stuck in the 1800s. Yes, please, forgive me if I am hounded by a Senate committee every day. A committee, by the way, which came here investigating fraud and found none. And then and only then started this witch hunt. Yes, forgive me if I am crucified in the press every day by crooked politicians willing to make their own careers. Forgive me. Yes, forgive me if I suffer through this every single day, and it makes me feel like your visit is the worst kind of injustice.
Doctor, if you have problems with my investigation, take it up with...
Yes. And this is an investigation.
If you have problems with my inquiries, take it up with your board of directors. They approached Dr. Meyer. They want this. I understand you are aggrieved, but I'm not your enemy. Your board wants an impartial study of your results so they can preempt the committee. They want to act before you get one that's politically biased. So I'm here to help you. But I only help if I keep my credibility. I do that by being impartial. You know Dr. Meyer hates controversy. He gave me specific instructions to handle this discreetly, but professionally. But I'll be fair to you, but I will be impartial.
Yes, forgive me. The stress.
I understand.
Pasteur must have handled these situations much better. Yes, of course. Go about your work, and we'll help you in any way that we can.
Thank you. Then I'll get to it.
As a doctor,
Yes?
I'm sorry. I know you have to remain impartial, and this is not special pleading. But fighting alone the way I do, it can be so difficult. to fight back the despair. And it would certainly reassure me to know that you had some sympathy.
I know how much we don't know. Our field, it's like stumbling through the dark with only a tiny light to guide us. So, it would reassure me to find support for your theories, because if you really do have an 85% recovery rate here, that changes everything.
I knew you were the perfect person to come here.
I know. But seeing her like that...
Yes.
She wouldn't talk to me.
I understand. But she's calm.
She is calm.
Yes, and the nurses haven't reported seeing any of her symptoms.
Yes, but that look, betrayal, I know that's what she was thinking.
Not unusual. Children often don't understand why parents do what they do, but when they get older, they look back and they see.
I want that to be true, but it's hard. I'm a simple man, Doctor. My wife, before she died, she was much better with these things. I'm struggling. I still don't understand why it was necessary. Could I ask you to explain it again, maybe without so many medical words?
Of course. Let's try a comparison. Your bottling machine is a very complicated operation, I would imagine.
Oh, yes.
Many moving parts.
Over 1,000.
Over 1,000. Now, suppose one of these parts became rusted and couldn't function properly. Would that compromise the workings of the whole?
Potentially.
Yes, and what if the rust was so powerful that it could spread from part to part? Would that then jeopardize the workings of the whole?
Oh, yes, if the rust spread, definitely.
Good. So, what should you do?
Clean off the rust.
Supposing you couldn't. Supposing you had to leave the rusted part in or take it out.
Take it out.
And should you wait or take it out right away?
Right away.
Good. Now, what you've just described is the way the human body works. Take lockjaw, for instance. Do you know its cause?
No.
It's a bacterium. That's the rust. Clostridium tetani. It creates a sepsis.
Those words, Doctor.
Yes, excuse me. The bacteria create an infection that produces a toxin that damages the rest of the body. So, we treat the infection. That's the same as taking out the part. And once we do that, then the machine works properly.
But lockjaw isn't madness.
No, but paresis is.
Another medical word.
Yes. You probably know it as general paralysis of the insane.
I've heard of that. That's caused by a blow to the head.
Yes, you are fortunate to be living in the times that you are, Mr. Darger. We used to think that, but now we know it's caused by syphilis.
Oh, then syphilis is the rust?
Yes, exactly. In this case, the rust infects the mind as well as the body. Isn't that remarkable? A bacterium that causes madness. Oh, time and time again, Mr. Darger, we are finding that illness is based in biology. Yes. And you don't.
Yes. So my daughter.
Yes. So your daughter. Yes. The solution is simple. The bacteria creates toxins that infect the brain tissue. So if that's the case, then what's the solution?
Remove the infection.
Yes. I'll show you. We took an x-ray of your daughter, and we found infection here and here.
You found infection in her teeth?
Yes.
So you removed them?
Yes.
All of them?
Yes.
What you say, it makes sense, but her teeth?
No, it's always the first place we look. Dental hygiene in this country. Perhaps someday science will help us with that area as well.
But if you only found infection here and here, couldn't you leave the other teeth?
No, we couldn't be sure that the machine picked up all of the infections, so if we left even one behind, why would we be like doing nothing at all?
Yes, but her teeth. I'm sorry, it's hard.
I understand. You love your daughter, you don't want to see her compromised unnecessarily.
No.
I told you I was a father. Believe me, I haven't done anything to your daughter that hasn't already been done to my own two sons.
You had their teeth removed?
Yes. You see, upon entering adolescence, they developed some irregularities. So I was faced with a hard choice. Yes, what we wouldn't do for our children, Mr. Darger, to save them from madness.
Yes. Yes, of course. She'll look back and see.
Yes.
But now she's cured.
Well, we certainly hope so. But the question is, did we get to the infection in time? And if we didn't, well, then it's already spread to more sensitive areas of the body. So, we'll monitor her recovery, and we'll see if her symptoms come back.
And if they do?
Well, then we'll look at the tonsils. And then the colon. Betrayal! I would expect this if you had come from Witcraft, but you were Meyer's protege. You stood in my office and you promised sympathy.
I promised you fairness. I gave you that.
This is fair. This is all betrayal and lies.
The lies are yours, Doctor. Your 85% recovery rate is bogus.
No, impossible. You're wrong.
You're counting people who have been discharged as cured.
Well, of course, they were discharged because they were cured.
How do you know they're cured?
Well, I see it. Their symptoms disappear.
Well, they're here. But what about after? Have you followed up?
We see hundreds of patients a year. We simply do not have the resources to follow up.
Then how do you know their symptoms haven't returned?
Because I've gotten letters, here, from family members, caretakers, all praising me.
Patients. Have you followed up with patients?
This is from Benjamin Rouse, the district attorney of Perth Amboy. Here, read it for yourself.
Because I have.
What is this?
Your file on Linda Rosen.
Ah, yes. I remember her. Schizophrenia. Yes, we performed teeth extraction. And she was cured.
And a hysterectomy.
Well, yes, she was cured.
Not cured.
How do you know?
I've visited her.
You're visiting former patients. That is not part of your mandate.
Her symptoms are exactly what you describe in her file. She's unchanged, except now she's missing teeth and a uterus.
I treated this woman myself. I saw it with my own eyes. Her symptoms disappeared.
While she was here, while she was resting after invasive surgery, you made her weak and impressionable and told her she'd be cured, so she believed it herself, but her symptoms came back.
And you know this how?
I told you I've seen her.
Look, diagnosis is subjective, and besides, I wasn't there. Even if it's true, I didn't see it with my own eyes, and it's an anomaly, a 1 in 1,000 case. That's all there is to that. You can't expect me to believe it. Anything else?
She told me demons are living under her floorboards. So in this case, yes, I'm more qualified.
Your title again?
Excuse me?
Associate of Psychology. Is that all? And that qualifies you in diagnosis more than a PhD.
Yes, I'm more qualified. Herbert Timmerin.
I don't remember him.
Severe depression.
Yes, he was cured.
Not cured.
How do you know?
He lied about his symptoms to keep you from cutting him again.
He lied.
Yes.
And he's still depressed.
Yes.
Well, he only has himself to blame. He left before the infection could be eradicated.
Don't you see? Your theories are self-justifying. If your surgery seems to help, that proves you're right. If it doesn't, that still proves you're right, because you haven't removed all of the infection. So you keep cutting and cutting, stomachs and colons and appendixes and gallbladders. You wear them down until they believe they're cured, or say they're cured, or you kill them. It's butchery in the service of nonsense, because your theories can't be falsified. That's not science.
You interviewed 2 people out of thousands, and that qualifies you to lecture me on science?
More than 2.
You interviewed all of these people,
Yes.
and you can prove as a matter of science that their symptoms returned?
I'll stake my professional reputation on it.
Your professional reputation. I thought something like this might happen.
What?
Your paper. Syphilis has effects on the central nervous system. Shoddy, unwarranted conclusions. Poor judgment, top to bottom.
Oh no, don't turn this around on me.
Poor judgment in one area, poor judgment in another.
You don't need any judgment to see these people are still sick. I talk to them directly.
Our profession demands the utmost in objectivity. Something you'll learn if you ever manage to get published. My lectures to the University of Princeton, from the Journal of Medical Science. My study of laparotomy, to the University of Princeton as well. Yes, and my paper on mental illness for the Journal of Medical Science of London.
This isn't about credentials.
No, it's not. It's about a lifetime's worth of work, and you are trying to climb over me to further your own career. Is that not it?
And it's not about my career.
Because you don't have one. An unpublished associate working in some dingy lab at Hopkins, and you come here with your tall tales of people that you have allegedly interviewed, and you want me to disbelieve what I've seen with my own eyes? My methods work! I've seen it! Year after year after year, caring for the nervous and the disturbed, while you sat behind your microscope and helped no one. Day after day after day, devoting myself to science.
This is a perversion of science.
Then say it. Can you prove, as a matter of scientific fact, that my theories are wrong?
That's not the point.
Yes or no? Can you prove me wrong?
No.
Then get out of my office!
I can prove, as a matter of science, that your theories have no foundation.
Yes, but the data says otherwise.
But the data have been manipulated. Look, you say your mortality rate for major operations is only 8%, but you've classified tonsillectomies and castrations as major operations when they're not. The real truth is here, and it's only 30%. For once, look at what's right in front of your face. You're killing people for reasons that have no scientific validity. It's butchery, savagery, murder, and it's got to stop.
Yes, well, I don't handle statistics, and I do not know what Mrs. Rue has or has not said or done. But what I do know is one woman says one thing, and another says something else. Perhaps we should have these figures analyzed by a more rigorous mind.
You didn't just say that.
I did.
I'm taking this to Meyer.
Then
You know that.
You'll take it to Meyer. You think I can't make my own case? You make your case and I'll make mine. But I will not have a 20-year career destroyed because of a quibble over statistics.
This isn't about talking to you. Useless. I'm taking this to the committee.
You won't.
Watch me.
You'll need Meyer's approval.
Then I'll get it.
Yes, well, Meyer hates controversy. And he won't go public with this unless I sign off on it, which I won't. Besides, the battle against the committee has already been won. Rycroft has summoned my allies. Empirical medical testimony, impeaching all of the witnesses, or don't you read the papers? You, the product of every age, thwarting people at every turn, the product of every the petty and the small-minded, impeding progress. PASTEUR suffered through it, and so can I. Opposition at every turn. He fought through it, and so will I, because he knew that he had a destiny, and I will not let you take that from me. So I will fight. With every weapon at my disposal, I will fight you. And I do it willingly. I bear this cross in the name of science.
You're insane. This isn't about science. It's about you.
I am science. Terrible. Just terrible. Please know that we took every care. Perhaps I wish that science had evolved to the point where these procedures carried no risk. Perhaps we'll get there someday. I had hoped that the tonsillectomy would be enough. She seemed to be getting better for a time. I truly did not believe that removing the uterus would be necessary. But when she took a turn for the worse and told the nurses that she wanted to go to the window and fly away, well, we knew we had to act quickly.
I don't blame you or anyone. You did what you could. But this, it's too much. How could you ask this?
I understand you're feeling grieved. But this is a difficult time and it is your decision. I will not take that from you. If you don't want to sign the waiver, then don't. But know that your daughter's delusions were atypical, unique. And that makes her very interesting to us. You see, if we had the chance to study her brain tissue under a microscope, why, who knows what wonders we may unlock. It may comfort you to know that your daughter's death helped with the progress of science.